Welcome to the Depressy podcast.
I'm Missy.
And I'm Allie.
And we're sisters
in the mental health field.
Talking about all things stressy
and depressy. Okay, disclaimer, Missy makes us do this every week. Don't take this as medical advice.
Or mental health advice.
Or mental health advice. Truly, I'm like, why do we have to do this? Because we're barely talking about psychology, I feel.
I know.
But don't do it.
This is not for serious
This is for funsies. Okay? Understand the vibes. Okay. So this is our 10 millionth time trying to record this. Because we both had microphone issues. Missy was hearing her voice when she was talking. I had to go downstairs, get headphones. My tummy hurts. I'm really hot right now. So I'm kind of in a mood.
If you're listening to this and you're just so excited that you can finally experience mediocre audio quality, just know we worked really hard for that.
For those listening, I want a poll of which lighting you like the best for me. So this is option 1.
Well, not those listening, for those watching. If you're watching on Spotify, I always feel like people are watching us, and then I'm like, wait, you could listen to just fully just be listening.
This is true. This is option 2. It's kind of a cooler tone. 3, I think we like 3 is the warmer.
I think warm tone is the fan favorite, but we'll see. We'll see what the people say.
I'm going to stay with warm tone. I feel like,
Let us know.
Yesterday, we did my favorite thing in the world. What was that?
We went to the beach.
Although I'm kind of salty. We went to the beach. What a funny pun. Because, why do you think I'm going to say that, miss?
Because, this was going to be my stressy depressy that we were 10 million years late.
Okay, well, it's not a stressy depressy. It's just the fact that it was so rough in the ocean. And my favorite thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. My favorite thing at the beach is swimming in the ocean, and I'm usually I can deal with waves, but it was one after another to the point where people are surfing on the Jersey Shore. Those two things should be incongruent, surfing in Jersey Shore.
No, to paint a picture, we were in, and it was one of those I don't know, if you don't have an ocean near you, then maybe this is not relatable, but literally it was you go under the wave and you have about 2 seconds to wipe off your eyes to see if another wave is about to hit you smack in the face, and then you have to go under again. It stops being fun if you're not surfing. Neither of us are surfers.
No, we're not.
It was
girls.
Stressful. It was stressful to be in there.
I know, and I think I have to be real. I also missed Alex and Sammy.
I know. Our brother and his girlfriend were, they had a pretty good excuse of being at a wedding, but they were not there.
Not
to
that
join
good
in
of
on
an
the fun.
excuse. Disappointment, because they're usually my beach buddies and we like to go in the water together. Rip.
Is that your stressy depressy? Or
no.
Okay.
No,
So we're gonna do our stressy depressy segment. Do you want to go first or me?
You go first.
Okay, I kind of alluded to this, but my stressy depressy is that it was a harrowing journey to get to the beach. And, we are both beach girlies, so it was worth it in the end, I would say. But basically, I can't even tell you, there were so many factors that just contributed to us getting there so late. I literally woke up at 7:30 a.m. on yesterday, which was Saturday, to get everything all ready. Basically, we're living in New York City now, and so to get to the beach, there were extra steps. We get everything in the car, and the traffic is just unmanageable, truly, on every step of the way. I'm used to some traffic, and we kind of budgeted for a little bit of traffic. Truly, it normally takes, with no traffic, it's probably about an hour to get to the beach. We were okay, maybe an hour and a half. It probably took at least 2 hours to drive down there. We were truly in stop and go traffic until the very end. I don't even know why, honestly. It was a nice day, but even on nice days, it's the traffic is never this terrible. We didn't even pass a single accident. Literally, we're driving. I kept being there must be a 4-car pileup. I don't know what could be causing this. It was one of those, eventually the traffic just kind of all dissipates. And you're where the fuck did all the cars go? Literally, where are they? I don't understand why this happened. Then we get to the beach, and because we were so late at this point to get there.
What time was it?
We probably arrived around 12:45 eventually to the beach.
And we're all meeting there at 11.
Almost an hour to find a parking spot. We were this close. We were so close to just being like, we gotta leave. Literally, it took us, we were like, we could have driven home at this point. It took us so long. And it was, honestly, it was a special form of torture because you're driving around. We literally went through the entire perimeter of this town, this beach town. We were like, we will walk a mile to the beach.
I'm gaslighting you because I just like don't feel like you guys knew how to find parking at the beach.
When I tell you we went through every freaking inch of this town.
But then when I was like, oh, have you tried this place? Have you tried this place? Have you tried this place? You were like,
we actually had. No, we had.
You went around the lake?
Yes. Once we got to their house, I was like, oh, we actually did try here. Everything was taken. It was the middle of the day. It was the worst time because everyone had already gotten there and no one had been like leaving yet. Like no one was like leaving for the day. Eventually we found a spot that was a good 15-minute walk from the beach, which was fine. Like we were fine with that. But by the time we actually like got to the beach, it was literally almost 2 p.m.
Jacob looked like death. Like when
my husband Jacob was like, we are never going to the beach again. This was way too much. But of course, at the end of the day, we were like, that was so relaxing. We did get some good few hours at the beach, which I think it made it all worth it. Or maybe I'm just justifying this whole experience. But the way back, luckily, was like no traffic because we kind of left. We had dinner there. And so we left after everything was trafficy. But yeah, that's my stressy depressy.
I had a stressy depressy this week. But it was honestly like the most stressed I've been in a while.
What happened?
You know what happened.
No.
Dang. What stressed me out this week? I was texting you about it.
I don't know.
I gave you an update yesterday.
Now I sound like a bad sister. I'm like, my mind is going blank. I'm gonna look through our texts and be like, what?
I don't think I ever texted you individually about it.
What? Just tell me.
I can't, like, this is actually crazy. I was extremely stressed about it. Mom was in on it.
Oh, of course. No, I knew I was going to be like, no, okay. I know what you're going to say. The wedding dress, the wedding and bridesmaid dresses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew you knew it, but I was like wanting to pull it out.
I don't know why. Like, I feel like it was one of those specific things, you know, when something's on the tip of your tongue, but it's just your mind is running into a dead end. When you were prompting me, it wasn't triggering any of the things that were like, I was like, I literally don't know. No, but of course, we texted and called about this like multiple times this week.
Yes. Basically, I don't know how to say it because I don't want to like shit on this place that we got the dresses from, but I think instead I'll just shit on this person who now no longer works there.
I think that's probably
how I will do it.
I think that's actually why, though. Like, I think that's the reason.
So, I'm going to tell, like, the whole story because I genuinely do think it's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll start from the beginning. So, I, as you may know, had a vision for everything for my wedding. Literally everything. Had a vision for what my dress would look like. To the point where as soon as I locked eyes with her on the website, I was like, this is my dress. I knew it immediately. I went to try on the dress literally maybe 1 week after I got proposed to. So like very soon after. This is like November 2024. I'm getting married April 2026. So plenty of time. I go in to go try it on. We just made like a random appointment. So whoever the sales associate was, great. We didn't really care. Fun fact, we've been introduced to this place because we've had great experiences with it. Missy got her dress there. She got her bridesmaids' dresses there. She had a friend that used them. So we've had nothing but excellent experiences with them. Just this one lady.
We chose them in part. I mean, you loved the dress, but I feel like you were even looking on their website in the first place because we had such impeccable service experiences. Like, we felt so well taken care of.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to shit on this place. I just truly think it was like a employee who was checked out. But basically, I try on the dress. It's the dress. Like, I buy the veil there. My mom is buying her mother of the bride dress there, like all in one day. So they've made great commission. And then I'm saying like, I'm going to have 9 bridesmaids. So I was like, and we want to just look at bridesmaids dresses. Let's call her Amanda. That actually does kind of fit. It's like giving very similar.
But yes, like she's an Amanda at heart.
Yes. Sorry if there's like an Amanda that works there, worked there.
I'm sure. No, if there's an actual Amanda, it's not her. This is a fake name. It's not her. We love other Amandas. It's a certain vibe. I don't know.
No, truly. So Amanda is like, no, you have to make an appointment to look at the bridesmaids' dresses, which is like annoying, but whatever. And so I'm home for like winter break at this point or something. I can't remember.
I think it was like your winter break, yeah.
Or like I was about to go into my winter break, so like we were going to make it for like 2 weeks from now or something. And she was like, I'm not working then, like, but I'm working in January. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll give this lady like more commission, like, because we could have made an appointment with like any other sales associate that actually worked better for our schedule, but we made it work so that Amanda could get more commission and whatever. I'm trying to be a girl's girl. Like, she hears that we're going to get 9 more bridesmaids dresses with them and whatever. So we make the appointment and I show up. I bring Missy and then I bring my brother's girlfriend, Sammy. We show up. There's Amanda. And she comes up to me. Meanwhile, she's met me. She's met Missy before. She hasn't met Sammy, but whatever. Yeah. And she's like, hi, it's nice to meet you. My name's Amanda. Like, who are you? I'm like, girl, BFFR. Be so fucking for real. I made this appointment and went out of my way to come here for you because you were like basically like begging us to like do the rest of the sale with you. But I'm like literally just like too stunned to speak. I'm like,
and at this point, we're sort of like, okay, it happens. She probably meets a lot of people. We sort of all had a laugh about it. Like, we were like, well, I know you probably, we were like, oh, we actually have met, but no worries. Like, we get it. You probably meet a million brides all the time. Like,
no, truly. And I think in the moment, I was like, oh, you're kind of being silly, Allie, like, for thinking that she would remember you. Like, of course she sees so many people. But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, she doesn't actually have to remember us. She should have just wrote a little note to her, like, self, being like, this girl brought her dress, her veil from me. Her mom brought the mother of the bride dress, like a month ago?
Yeah.
From you, and then I made this appointment with you specifically. And I'm like,
and this is not, still again, this is not our main complaint. This is just maybe us looking in hindsight, some red flags that are related to what we're about to say.
Yes, that maybe she was checked out is like maybe the vibes we're going for. So she's just kind of like, I don't know, she's fine during the appointment. Like, she's saying the things that, I don't know, someone would say. She helps us
find a good bridesmaid dress for Allie. Yeah. Like, it all went well, right? In theory.
It went well. So we are in a position where my parents are paying for the bridesmaid dresses for all my bridesmaids. So we are just paying the bill right there, being like, okay, it's going to be this amount of money. But how it's going to work is that the girls can come into the salon and make an appointment and try on the dress and get sized, or they can go get their sizing another place or make like a virtual appointment where they like help them like size themselves and send in their sizes. And we use this place for Missy's wedding. So how it worked is like whenever the girls like had time throughout the year, honestly, I think from your lead time.
The last person who had an appointment for me was literally under 6 months, like probably 5.5 months before my wedding was the last bridesmaid appointment. And so another red flag that came up for me was at that time when she was like, oh, we usually like to do it. I forget what she said, but you know, again, it was January. Allie's wedding was the following April. And she was like, I really think that everyone needs to be submitting their measurements in the next like month or something. Like it was something
No, she literally said it's our policy. She goes, it is our policy that you have to do within 30 days. And I'm like, oh, like screeching back because genuinely that just like doesn't work. I wouldn't have done that if that were the case. Because it's stressful for people. What I have to say, in the next 30 days, you guys all have to come in, make an appointment. Like, people are busy. One of my friends was like 8 months pregnant. Like,
and what? She was like, oh, no, we'll find something. We'll make the size work for her. I've worked with pregnant bridesmaids before. Like, she was just like making
crazy.
Moving mountains to ensure that everyone would be submitting their sizes immediately.
We literally had already bought the dresses at this point. She's like, you need to do it within 30 days. And I was extremely worried, most of all, about this one pregnant friend, because I'm like, she's going to be breastfeeding. Like, I'm just thinking about all the stages. Like, I would not think that she would, honestly, like, in my brain, she would submit her sizes, like, October. Yeah. Because she'd be getting a little bit back to her.
Some kind of sense about okay, maybe she sizes up a little bit and she can always tailor, but it's just such an incredibly wide range to be going from 8 months pregnant to postpartum changes to breastfeeding, like so much.
And so I was so annoyed, but I was like, okay, whatever, I guess this is like what you have to do. So she's like, don't worry, I will take care of everything. I'm going to send you an email, and then you'll reply to that email within 30 days. Or no, you'll reply to that email right away, and then within 30 days, your bridesmaids have to submit their sizes. And in my brain, I'm like, what's going to happen if they don't? But I don't know, whatever. So then you got all the emails from all the girls so that when Amanda would send the email, so we were like ready for this. But it's 2 weeks later, which is 14 days into this what I feel arbitrary 30-day deadline of like, right when you press order, you have 30 days. So I'm like, hello. I dig through my emails, somehow finds like her email address because she had emailed me the receipt when I bought my bridal gown from her. So I replied to that email, honestly, also to be like, remember when I bought all this stuff from you?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Amanda, wondering like when I should send you those dresses, like my bridesmaids information. And she gets back to me like 2 days later, like not even like right away. Now it's like we're 20 days into this like 30-day deadline. And she's like, oh, you can, send me like all your bridesmaids emails or something. So I do. And then she's like, oh, and also send me the emails for the 2 girls that were with you. That also was weird. I was like, Missy and Sammy, they were there. We ordered the dresses with you.
When Sammy and I were there, we tried on, like, we got measured there. We tried on the dress. So we like pressed order. Like, I submitted my address. I got an email receipt with my dress, seeming that it was ordered.
Yes. So I was like, wait, didn't they already get ordered? Like, I'm so confused, but like, whatever. Maybe she just wants to have all of them. Like, I don't know what. So then she's like, okay, so now it's like the end of January and she makes the deadline for the girls March 1st. So again, we ordered or bought these dresses like, I think January like 7th or something. We are emailing about this finally like end of January, and then she makes the deadline March 1st. So I'm like, okay, I'm reaching out to the bridesmaids, and in my view, I thought it had all been handled with Missy's wedding. I don't think you had any like issues. Again, you had a bridesmaid do it kind of late, but it was like fine.
It was fine.
Especially with this deadline. But I get an email. I was studying for step 2. So it was like beginning of April. So now it's like a month past this quote deadline when I think like everyone's turned in because everyone like whatever, I feel like I would have heard if there was an issue. And I just get an email of not from Amanda. What should we make this other person's name?
Alexis,
perfect. I get an email from Alexis being like, as you may have heard, Amanda no longer works with us. I was like, where would I have heard this? The news? Like, literally, I'm not Amanda following.
Did not think to let us know. Yeah.
Yes. I wasn't Amanda's first call when she was quit or when she was fired. Like, I was not in the know of this small bridal boutique in New York City. Like, how would I have known? Mm-mm. So I don't know when in this transition that happened. Was it before the March deadline? Was it after? Whatever. But I emailed back right away to Alexis, and I'm like, I did not know that, but like, how are things with the bridesmaids' dresses? And she was like, oh, let me check. And she was like, okay, only 2 girls haven't done it, but just tell them to do it by a couple months before the wedding. The lead time is like 6 to 8 weeks from ordering to when you got it, which was my experience. So then I'm like, wait a minute. I was told that there was a 30-day deadline from like ordering to when all the girls had to put in their orders. And Alexis is like, no, like we just, in order to like really like have time for all the girls, like you just want to do it like preferably like a couple months before the wedding just to make sure everything's smooth. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. I just got like totally, Amanda was just trying to like get the commission. Like I think 100%. What was happening was like she needed to get all the orders in before she was leaving, whether she was like quitting or whatever, by March 1st. And of course this is just my thinking about this, but like why else would she have told us that you needed to get it within 30 days and then be kind of checked out? It was bizarre. So at this point, I'm just like, ugh, that's really annoying because I feel like it stressed people out. I have 2 girls that still need to do it. But again, I'm not worried because I was told by them that they just need to get it in a couple months before the wedding and whatever. I'm not keeping like a big eye on it. But then it's literally now, end of July. Again, I'm not thinking about it. I think that all my girls have gotten their dresses. Like, maybe I could have been thinking about it more, but I truly thought, okay, now Alexis is on top of it. But I get a text from my friend who's like, when are we getting the bridesmaids dresses? Like, we ordered them back in February. Like, some of those girls ordered back in January, the end of January. Yeah. We placed the order beginning of January. We started this process in November, and we were totally rushed to do this. And I'm like, literally my heart sank because I was like, were they ordered? And I even talked to one of the girls who said that who previously was said like, oh, you didn't order it or whatever, but she was like, no, I placed my order with Amanda. So I was like, that's weird. Like, why would then Alexis say that you hadn't ordered it? So I emailed Alexis. I'm like, urgent, Alexis, where are my bridesmaids dresses? Like, when I ordered for Missy's wedding, the dresses came probably within 6 to 8 weeks. Like, that was correct. Yeah. I get an immediate response. Hi, I no longer work here. It's like just a bounce email.
They
like
dropping like flies at this place, apparently.
I know. And I'm like, I need you to BFFR right now, Alexis. I need you to come back to work right now because I'm gonna freak out. Like, was my worry in my head, because I'm like, I liked the bridesmaids dresses. Do I absolutely need to get those exact bridesmaids dresses? No. I feel like
it would not be the end of the world, like, if those weren't the bridesmaid dresses, but
if it were my wedding dress and my veil, that actually would be the end of the world for me. Genuinely, I have not seen another wedding dress like the one that I got. Yeah. So that, or even that I like even close to what I got. So I'm like, was mine ordered? I don't know. So I'm like going back in my emails. I did get that receipt again from Amanda right after I ordered my dress. That was like, oh, the lead time, it should be ready in December, which was also weird to me because I remember right when we were there, she was like, it's like a 10-month lead time. So when we ordered in November.
You made it sound like you had just arrived right in time. Again, this was weird because for my wedding dress, I got my dress in, I would say, like October. And again, I got married June 1st. So I think it was mid-October when I officially got my dress. And like, that was completely fine. They were like, yeah, I mean, maybe you're pushing up against it, but like, that's plenty of time for us to order and do the alterations and everything. And again, this was like a year and a half out, and they were like, thank God you're here. Like, you may not have had enough time to get this dress otherwise.
But I remember at the time she was saying it'd probably come in September, October of the following year. But then in the email that I like triple checked, it was like, it'll probably come in December, so fittings will start in January. I'm like, it's a long time. So I'm like, hopefully she pressed order on that dress right away. Like, I don't know. So I'm like emailing customer service. It's like Monday. Calling. I'm about to call 911. Like, I'm like, no one is answering. I probably call 10 times within like 4 hours. Like, calling, pressing every option button. And so then I literally call my mom. I'm like the busiest rotation I've been in so long. Like, genuinely working through lunch, having 10 minutes to eat lunch, and then just going right back to work because I'm behind on notes or need to call patients. So I'm like literally sitting at my desk like, Mom, 911. She's like, what's wrong?
And our mom is like, if you know, like that Jewish mom who can like solve any problem. Just leave it to her. She's retired. She will lock in and get to the bottom of the thing.
And the issue is she's at jury duty right now. Like, let's just add that in.
That doesn't stop her, though.
That doesn't stop her. She's currently, like, on a jury. Like, not actually, she didn't get picked. But she's, like, sitting there filling out forms for the judge, doing all this stuff. She's sending emails.
She's calling. She's, like, calling every number she can get a hold of. Like,
she's stalking people on their LinkedIns at this bridal boutique to find like any number that is gonna work. Finally, she gets in contact with like the seamstress that works there. That is the only person we can get in contact with. Oh, by the way, I'm like telling this story. Okay, they are closed on Monday, so we're calling, but this is now Tuesday when everyone is calling again. That's important. So I'm like emailing on Monday, not hearing back. I didn't realize they were closed, but still, I'm just like freaking out. So I'm like calling, emailing, not hearing back. So then on Tuesday, my mom's still at jury duty. She's calling. I'm like emailing again, emailing all the emails. Just, I'm freaking out because as I'm not hearing back, I'm like spiraling. I'm like, did the whole store close? Like, what is going on? And so finally she gets in touch with the head seamstress, who's no idea what's going on. She's like,
she's not related to sales at all.
She's not related to sales.
She's like, I can try.
She's like, I will send an email to like the head of customer whatever. Like, great. Of course, my mom, like, thinking about this, she probably spent like over 30 minutes on the phone with this woman, like trying to get information. So that woman sends an email, like doesn't send the email Tuesday, whatever. She's probably busy, you know, sewing. She sends the email Wednesday, and I am like checking my email, not hearing back. My mom's still on jury duty. I'm like trying to call Missy because I'm like, Missy, drive over to the store. Like, please just walk over to the store and just make sure my dress was ordered. Because then I looked on the website and my dress is no longer listed as a dress there. So I'm like, if it wasn't ordered, like, that's it. And we kind of just, like, this is kind of where we left it, is we got this response, like, afternoon Wednesday, being like, I'm sorry that you haven't gotten a response. Was it Thursday? I think it might have been, like, Thursday.
I don't remember what day. Yeah.
It was Thursday. We got a response. Because I remember all Wednesday being like, it's been over 24 hours. Yeah, it was Thursday morning. We got this response that was, like, so... No. Wait, sorry. I just want to be clear. It was Thursday afternoon because I remember it was after lunch I got the email. Okay, so Thursday afternoon, when we've started this process Monday of trying to call them every 2 seconds, I'm continuously calling them through this time. Kind of just being like, sorry you feel that you were given, like, the runaround. That's what my mom used. And I do feel like we were given the runaround because, like, I've been emailing people not hearing back and trying to email Amanda, Alexis, everyone's quitting on us. And they're like, basically, because you didn't have 2 of your bridesmaids do the fittings or submit their sizes, nothing was ordered for the bridesmaids, but didn't make a comment about my dress. So waiting for the response about whether or not my dress was ordered, which is frustrating. And also it's frustrating because even the way they worded it in the email was like, one of my bridesmaids, who again told me that she had corresponded and sent it, and I believe her, with Amanda, they're saying, oh, she never, like, actually confirmed it. Because she sent in the sizes, but never, like, I guess, confirmed the email after Amanda emailed her back. I'm like, wouldn't you just, like, send a follow-up email, like, to my friend?
I know. I'm like, maybe that's true and maybe that's their procedure, but, like, why was someone not saying, just bumping this, like, hey.
I know. And so I totally feel like it just fell through the cracks. And maybe that's on me, but I truly believed that they were on top of it because of my experience with Missy's wedding, where they were on top of it. So I think, yeah. So basically, I am less stressed now that we have a response and that customer service lady gave like her work number or something that is different. So I do just want to make sure that my dress was ordered, everything is good with that, and need to double check. Basically, I just need my bridesmaids. I guess one of them needs to confirm, the other one needs to just, like, go into the store and set the sizes. But again, I didn't realize that none of them would be ordered, which is also weird. I'm like, I feel like they're just covering up their tails.
Something is afoot. Like, I feel like maybe there's a lot of staffing changes. Like, it feels like a completely
they were saying that
black and white experience from what we have.
I know, and so I don't want to shit on them because they have beautiful dresses. I do feel like it is just an unfortunate circumstance that I got passed along to 2 people who either were fired or quit or were checked out or whatever, and I just kind of fell through the cracks. But it's frustrating because they said, oh, it's because you have more than 8, or like you have 8+ bridesmaids that it's this way. But I'm like, actually,
I had 8.
And they said of the same color. I'm like, actually, like, Missy's wedding was 8 of the same color. They were like, it has to be cut from the same thing. I was like, that was the exact same thing that Missy had.
No, I know. It's so interesting because I feel like they're giving us all these, like, reasons, which if this was our first time with them, we'd be like, okay, I guess that's their thing. But we just have receipts of my end being like, that's just not how it worked. Unless maybe their policies totally changed. But like, it's not been that long, first of all. Like, I got married last year. And again, I just feel like they should have just maybe been more clear about like, hey, just so you know, someone hasn't ordered yet or someone hasn't put in their sizes, so like we can't move forward until this happens, or like, can you please just remind her one more time? I mean, so many things.
So then I would say like this kind of just, it's interesting how little stress like bleeds out into other things. I just feel I've been overall just like stressed about random things now. I got so annoyed. This is a minor thing. I want to say this so in a way that no one will know who this is, but someone made a suggestion about what I should do for some part of the wedding journey, but kind of phrased it like, you guys need to do this, and it's a thing that we were gonna do anyway, but also a thing that, because I'm the one mostly planning it, which is how I wanted it to be, would fall on me. And I'm like, I was gonna do it, but now that you freaking said that I need to do it, I'm gonna lose my mind. You like, do it if it's...
I'm not doing it.
I'm like, it's such a small thing that if you need it to be done so much, like, welcome. You do it, and you get all the stuff that's needed for that. And genuinely, I do think I kind of overreacted. I literally started crying when that conversation was done, which is not on them. It was just more like,
you were already
I'm
like almost
dealing with things, okay? Yeah. I was like, I cannot deal with this right now, okay? Like, you can organize this thing if it's extremely important to you. I was gonna do it anyway, but now you're annoying me. So I had a little breakdown about that, but that was kind of silly because I know this person didn't mean it like that, but that's how I took
wrong
it
place,
in
wrong
the
time.
moment. Wrong. Truly, I was like, I think that was before. That was Wednesday, so that was before we heard back. So I was like, not gonna happen.
You're like off with your head, actually. Like,
I know. I was like, sounds like we're canceling the wedding because
you're like, just
yeah, no.
Should have thought about your actions.
I feel like there's a couple people that are gonna think this thing is about them, because I feel like I've actually talked to a couple people about wedding stuff this week, and it's not about you, probably, because don't think it's about you, because even if it was about you, I was overreacting. So, like, true love, like, I'm sorry, it's not about you if you're listening to this, but...
So, should we move into, like, today's topic? I feel like our stressy depressy segment was a long
well, here's what I'm going to say. I actually do think there's a clean transition from what we just talked about.
I'm going to let you make the transition.
So the transition is, I feel that I've been particularly vulnerable to stress over these past 3 weeks because I have not been exercising as much. There you go. There's the transition. So I'll start from the beginning. At 11 years old, I had my first check of my cholesterol, and it was high. And
Buckle up.
11 years old, I get my cholesterol checked, it's high. And really when it's high at that age, it almost always is a genetic thing that your body is either just making more, or like how you process foods, like whatever. There would be unique cases where it would be not more environmental, but I was like a gymnast, I was extremely active.
We also know it runs in our family.
Yes, like, and it runs, the other part of it is it runs in my family. No one was too worried about it. They were like, okay, just live your life, yada, yada, yada. I think I got it checked again when I was like a teenager, still high. But I wasn't really thinking about it. I got it checked one more time when I was like early 20s, like maybe 22, 23. And it was a little better. I think at that time I was like exercising a lot, like I was doing my swimming. But then I got it checked again in like January. So almost 6 months ago. And it was extremely high. Okay, I don't want to say extremely. It was very high. It was at a point where if things weren't changed, I would need to go on medication for it. And I was like, frick, is how I felt. That is how I felt, because I think I truly felt like, and I will say this is like, I've just had like a transformation of how I think about food and body and all of this. But at the time, I would say compared to what I believed to be the standard American diet, I felt that I lived a healthy lifestyle. And I talk to people now, patients or friends, who will kind of say the same thing. Be like, I have high blood pressure or I have high cholesterol, but I am healthy. These are the reasons why I think I'm healthy. And I like hold their hand gently. You are at a genetic high risk and you're still consuming a lot of things or doing a lifestyle that is contributing to you having this issue. So I do feel like I thought I kind of had like a lack of agency in this. But actually, you kind of reminded me of something that I talked about a lot, which is that when I was on my family medicine rotation, I struggled a lot with the idea of patient autonomy. But probably not for the reasons you think. It was because I felt like I saw so much autonomy for patients. Obviously, I understand, like, you know, we can break things down. There's social determinants of health. There's genetic factors. People have a billion things going on. But I felt that it was very hard for me to see my role as a doctor as being convincing people to change their life or really figuring out ways that they could. Instead, I felt like my job was just to share with them what the data was or what the science would say about what they should do. Like, you should stop smoking. Like,
Right.
Was like, girlie, you're an adult. I just gave you the positives and negatives of smoking. Do with that information what you will. I just told you your risk of stroke. So obviously we can unpack that and I know all the things, but I do feel like I would get very frustrated with how much effort you had to put in to really make communication to people to understand like where they're coming from and like help them want to change their life. I feel like a lot of people just had a lot of apathy towards it. They just, whatever, were not interested in making lifestyle changes. And it would frustrate me because I'm like, just do what I'm telling you. Or if not, I don't feel like convincing you. Like, you're an adult. I think it's kind of, that sounds super callous. I understand it's more nuanced than that, but
it's hard when you're every day, like when you are on a family medicine in a family medicine clinic, so much of your every day, you're just seeing patient after patient after patient, where it's like, okay, they are at risk of cancer or a stroke or a heart attack, and they are still smoking X number of packs a day, and like that's just every single conversation is, I'm telling you that like what would really help you is to stop smoking, and they're all like, don't want to do that, and you're like, great. And it's kind of demoralizing for that to be like, literally back to back to back all day. You're just like, I guess they're going to keep doing the thing that's actively harming them, and I feel like I can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah. And I will say, I feel differently when it's kids because I don't feel that they have the same autonomy that adults have. But it is just tiring. Like, I feel like if I could just do it a couple times a day, that'd be one thing. But it was like back to back to back to back to back patients of just like, God, for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Please. Like, I need you to get active. I need you. Meanwhile, I'm the biggest hypocrite. Because what was I not doing exercising? What was I not doing living a healthy life? Like, honestly, I feel like when I had that high cholesterol, you were like, now you're that patient who's like, who's being told you need to make these changes. And I'm like, oops, it's actually all different when it's you. Allie gains empathy. No, I had empathy. It was just tiring. You know, like, just hold my hand on this.
Like, I don't want to do
But I was like, I don't want to make changes. I like having my smoothies with normal milk. I like having, there's all these things that you truly don't realize are part of the standard American diet. Can't comment on other countries. That you're like, oh my gosh, your whole mindset shifts when you realize how many foods are contributing to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, that are like seen as normal. And I would
say is that it interacts with your like underlying risk. And so if you're not someone who's at risk for high cholesterol, you may be totally fine having all of these things, right? Or at least 100%. Some of them. But if you're like already like almost at the threshold, like you're like cholesterol just at baseline is pretty high, then having these extra things might just put you over the edge, and you're like, oh, everyone around me is having the normal smoothie. They're fine. Why shouldn't I be able to have that?
Yes.
Lots of people around me don't exercise regularly. Like, I walk around, I don't know. Yeah.
100%. I saw myself because I didn't eat fried food, because I didn't eat a lot of red meat, because we almost never went out to eat. We almost always cook in. I thought to myself that I'd never drink sodas. Like, in my brain, I was living a healthy lifestyle. because it was better than what I thought other people were living. But I think something I had to think about was just it felt unfair. Like that now I have to take these extra steps. And a little more of what this topic is about is that exercise having such a beneficial impact on every single part of your, like, truly decreases cancer risk, decreases anxiety, decreases blood pressure, decreases like cholesterol, like
turns out they were right.
Like literally
they were right about
so
exercise.
Important. And again, I thought to myself, oh, but I'm walking around. Even though I am not like, you know, running or doing these big things, I thought to myself that walking was enough. That, you know, doing other kind of active things was enough. Something is better than nothing, for sure. But to actually sit down with the American Heart Association, like what their recommendations were, like the low exercise, like your kind of like just movement without like increasing your heart rate so much, it's important and it's great for your health, but it's not even part of the recommendations for like actually hitting your goals of exercise for the week. Yeah. And the goal is, and I had probably told I've told people this and it hasn't like sunken in, is 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise a week. I was at 0 of that. Zero. And I freaking hate exercise. So where I started with that, I got an amazing dietitian.
Who's your dietitian? Like, you don't have to say. Or actually, we could totally plug her. We should totally plug her.
I'm going to plug you. Alyssa Smolin. We can link her stuff.
She's at Arugalissa on Instagram.
Yes. We went to high school together. Missy and I went to a very small high school. Like, it was a public high school, but just a very small town. So, like, we all knew each other. Missy knew her brother. Like, everyone's intertwined. So, like, this girl has just, like, been in our life kind of casually. I've, like, been out to, like, brunch with her probably, like, once a year when we're, like, both home for the holidays. So, I'm like, girly pop, can you be my dietitian? Which, also, this is, like, another topic. I'll get back on topic in just one second. It also kind of opened my eyes to, I think people talk bad about having a physician or honestly anyone that's taking care of you kind of know you or be like friends with you, but I saw a lot of benefits to just having someone that actually did know you and knew your background and to help you, even though like we were also talking about like how often I was pooping. Like
it probably so depends on the person. Like obviously
that's true.
For some people that obviously might be really tough, or if there could be like any tensions or like weirdness around like gossip, but like she's such a like everyone go book a consultation with her if you're interested, because she's like such a lovely, understanding but knowledgeable person.
Yes.
Yeah.
It truly did just change my viewpoint, I mean, on how I approach food and just things that are actually important for you. Like, it's not even so much like what you don't eat. It's making sure you get fruits and veggies and a varied diet. Like, all these things that, like, I was not having all my servings of fruit and veggies a day. I was having so much saturated fat in a day that was coming from all these, like, products that I just didn't even realize. Like, it was just, like, a whole shift in mentality of, like, how you eat is, like, taking care of yourself. And, yeah, I could go more into, like, exactly how I changed my diet. That I've been very consistent with, and I give that all credit to her because I think she helped me introduce changes very slowly to where they became a habit before adding in other things. So it was very gradual, and now it is just like second nature to me, a lot of these things. Like, but I will say, again, part of her recommendation, we like scaled up exercise. I think I started 1 time a week with her, and then we got to 3 times a week. We kind of got to 4 times a week. I never really hit that goal, but I would say I got above 30 minutes 3 times a week was kind of where I was at. But I haven't been good these past 3 weeks, and it's honestly been impacting me so much, and it makes me mad and feel all types of guilt.
What has been getting in your way these past few weeks?
I'm on this very busy rotation that's an hour away. So I wake up and I'm leaving my house by 7 in the morning, and then I don't get back sometimes till a little after 6, sometimes closer to 7, like depending on when I can leave. And I am going to bed, like showering in bed by 9. So it just doesn't leave a lot of time.
But yeah.
And in the past, like one of my rotations that I did before this, the gym had, honestly, for the past like lots of months, the gym has been on my way home from walking or wherever I'm like parking. But now it's just not. I would have to walk 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, plus like a 30 plus minute workout. And I am starving. I'm so hungry when I get home. So then I'm like, working out with a full stomach is very difficult. So, yeah, I hate to make excuses. Worked out twice last week, once the week before, 0 times this week. I am going to do a workout today. And I do feel kind of exasperated because I know that, like, technically I could have woken up early, but then it's like yesterday we were going to the beach. Could have woken up early in the morning, but the gym's not open till 10 and I really wanted to run. Could have done a home workout. Like, all these things, it's like shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I know I'm even less busy in some ways than I was on my previous rotation. So I don't know why I'm like really not able to prioritize it, but it is affecting me. I feel like a blob, like just like from the inside out. My hunger is weird. My tummy issues are coming back. I haven't had tummy issues in so long as I've been working out and eating healthy. So it's just then like literally blob. And I feel guilty, which I hate. And I can kind of hear Alyssa's voice though in my head being like, she always reminds me like when I feel like I'm not doing a lot, like think about how little you were doing before. You weren't even working out once a week. So this is still an improvement from where you were. And that like I'm still making a lot of like my dietary changes. I have not like fallen from that. So, but I will say just like, I don't know, I think I just am more stressed out because I'm not working out, which I freaking hate. And here's the issue. I don't like working out. I've tried everything.
No, but okay. Here's the thing though, like because I've had my own journey, like I feel like probably I would say until like my junior year of college, I also hated exercising. I would do it. I would kind of like fall in and out of different workout routines. I like really didn't enjoy it, but was like, I should be doing this for my health. And then I would just like stop for many months at a time. And I finally found like something that did work for me. But I feel like what I realized was I can only work out in the morning. Like that is, I have my energy. I just do it right away. It gives me energy for the rest of the day. And it's like one of those, like over time, you realize, oh, I like feel better during the day. And like my body kind of like learned that feedback loop. But the thing that you're describing to me of how you would like work all day, be super hungry after work, like these are all like the biggest red flags for like I'm like I would hate exercising too. If then you go inside, first of all, also I cannot run on a treadmill. Like if I'm running, it needs to be outside. Like I need to be seeing different scenery. I need to be on a route where it's like you can't possibly end early because you're on a loop and you're not going to get home. Like there's only one way home, which is finishing the loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're on a treadmill every second. My mind is like, we could just be done. We could just be done with this. And so you're like ending work. It's like hot out. You're hungry. You're schlepping to the gym. You're changing, you're getting on the treadmill, like you're already wearing your makeup for the day, like you're like running like inside. I'm like, I would hate exercising too. That sounds god awful. Like that sounds terrible. So I just feel like
it's hell out here. It's
I don't know.
I think my goal, I'm trying to even think about like, okay, how can I can do home workouts. That's what I'm going to do today. But I do like, I can do a run on Saturday of next week, and gym's closed Sunday. Like, all these things are just, like, impeding my ability to work out. I could get up early at, like, okay, be there by 6 a.m. Another burp break because my stomach hurts from not working out. Second burp break.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if I get there at 6 a.m., do, like, a 40-minute workout, but I need to leave by 7 for work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I could use the showers there, run to the car.
I feel like this rotation, you may just need to accept, I don't know, like a lower rate of working out. Because it does sound like, again, I'm thinking about it. Like, I can talk high and mighty about having a good workout routine, but my schedule is like so much more flexible. I feel like if I had that level of rigidity, like it would be really hard to find the time.
But I think that's how I used to think. about I can't work out because X, Y, and Z. And again, I would not criticize, but I'm like, you can always make time. I do think there's enough time in my day to exercise. I'm not prioritizing right now, which is like frustrating to me. But it needs to be like a non-negotiable. Is kind of how I need to shift my mindset, because otherwise you can always find a reason why today isn't the day. That's how I felt with studying or doing, like, I remember when I was studying for step 2, like, there was always a reason why today was going to be more difficult to hit my question limit. But if I always took that reason, like, oh, because there's a dinner, or because I have a meeting, because I woke up a little bit late, if I always did that, then I would never get the questions done. But I'm also trying to not live in a black and white mindset, but I do think first I just need to...
It's really tough. I feel like I also think about, like, I wonder if this like has played into it at all for you, but I just feel like the way that our like society thinks about exercise, the way that honestly I feel like we grew up thinking about it was a lot more black and white and was a lot more driven by like, I mean, I just think our society has a lot of shame and guilt around this in general, that you are somehow a failure if you don't have a good exercise routine, then you're not quote unquote like taking care of yourself, and then you are just like totally lazy. Like I feel like all these things are like wrapped up in like the early 2000s culture of like exercise, you know, and it's all about like the way your body looks, like you want to look fit or toned or skinny or whatever. And like I feel like it just, I don't know, I guess even if like I feel like both of us have kind of like shed that mindset in general, but that like still like part of the foundation of how we even started to think about these things. And so there's just this like,
I don't know, I'm not sure I think that way. Honestly, I would say the thing that makes me feel guilty is I feel worse than I did when I was consistently exercising, and so I feel like I'm being mean to my body, if that makes sense. Like, I know that I could not be feeling this way if I had prioritized exercising, so I feel like kind of guilt about that.
Yeah.
Like, I let myself down, you know, you can go to the negative self-talk. But I know that exercise for me I'm not exercising in a way that it's affecting my weight at all.
No. Me neither. Like, I feel like I'm just saying, like, I feel like just, like, the way, even the fact that you're saying there's, like, it's completely different now, but that it would be at all even, like, tied to guilt in the way that, like, other behaviors just aren't. Like, I take a multivitamin every day, and I consider that important to my health. I forgot to take it yesterday. I'm not like stupid. Like, I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like some other health behaviors, we just don't have that like association with.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw this podcast that I've seen clips of. Someone was talking about like, what if we viewed exercise like we viewed hygiene? But honestly, it felt not judgmental, and I honestly do kind of agree with it, but I think he was saying, like, what if there were just people who are like, I just don't like showering, and so they just didn't shower. And I'm like, and he was like, humans are meant to move, like, you need to move, like, it's just something you have to do to take care of yourself, which was interesting. But then he also talked about how he worked out growing up, but it was mostly in the context of sports. And then when he was like depressed, when he was like an adult, he still made himself work out, but it almost became, because he knew like the research and all those things, like it's important for you to work out. Yeah. But it wasn't until he went back to working out in a group setting, like a class or something, that he actually saw some of like more benefits. So I do think there's something tied to like working out and being active in like a group setting.
Yeah,
being like fun, you know, like when you're dancing at a wedding, or you're like in the ocean with your friends, or like whatever, like movement is much more fun when you're with a group. Yeah. But I just thought were like interesting perspectives on working out, but the way that I kind of have to do it, I don't like, my schedule's just so bouncy that I really just have to tailor it to what I'm doing, and I think that leads to it being harder to work out by yourself.
That's interesting, because I was just thinking about it, and I mean, if you've been closely following this, you know that neither of us were team sport athletes, but do not have the skill to join a local soccer league or something like that. But I was actually thinking about it, and I still feel like it kind of applies to me, because in two ways. I pretty much do like two things for exercise, which is like I run and I do yoga, and I like sometimes I do strength training too, I guess. But like actually in all of those veins, I specifically only do strength training with my husband. If he is not going, like, it is 10 million times harder for me to motivate to do that. Like, part of the fun for me is we're just like chit-chatting, we're just like doing it together. It's kind of a nice like bonding and like, oh wow, I can lift more now. For yoga, it's the same thing. Like, basically when I was right after college, I like worked part-time at a yoga studio, so I got free unlimited membership, and that was great. Like, I loved it so much. I would go multiple times a week, and after we moved to this area, there was like no studio near us that had a similar kind of deal. It was still like, you work here like a lot more and you get like just a discount, which was just not worth it to me. I would do YouTube yoga videos, couldn't push like anything that was longer than 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes was my max. Meanwhile, I was previously in like hour-plus long classes, loving it, like couldn't wait to go. In my own home, I'm like, ugh, like I know I should do this, it's good for me, but I can't. And then also, and finally now near us, there's like a gym, which I'm like now kind of a snob because I was a part of that yoga studio. That was great. I like a good yoga studio, which I truly can't afford, especially not in New York City. So like we did join a gym and like they have some classes there, which are like fine. But even just like going in a group, it's like, oh yeah, I can do the hour-long class, like no problem. And lastly, even with running, I feel like you would think that's a solo activity, which it is. In Jersey City, where we used to live, like I wouldn't really be encountering that many other runners, maybe one or two on the route. It was just like, we lived in kind of more of a like industrial area. It was like pretty far to get to a park. And so I would be like, it was just like, almost like heads would be turning as I'd be running down the sidewalk. People were like, oh, what's she doing? And now I live in the city near multiple parks, and I am there. It's like a sea of people. We're like salmon just swimming upstream all together, like floods of us. And it's so, the time passes so much more quickly. Like, I'm literally just like la-di-da-di-da, like running all around. Like, just feel like it's been a completely different experience, even going on runs solo. I do envy people who are good at a sport and like, are like, yeah, my advisor in grad school she was like, played sports growing up, and she was like, oh, in grad school I joined like a soccer league. It was so nice to meet people who were not in my grad school life and just like get exercise. And I'm like, I wish that could be me. I just like would not. I can't. If you're out there being like, no, you could do it, like, no.
You don't know
when
how
I was 7 years old, my parents had to have stage an intervention with me, and they were like, you cannot continue to play soccer.
Wait, what?
Literally, or maybe it was like third grade. Basically, I played in our town, we had like in-town soccer that you could just join, like it's an after-school activity.
I do not remember you ever playing soccer.
It was like first and second grade, so it was probably not very. And then after second grade, you could, if you wanted to continue, then you tried out for travel soccer, where you could be on a soccer team that like played other towns, right? And I was like, great. I had a good time with the other people. I was like, I'm just enjoying the vibes. We win or lose. Like, I'm here for it. The team spirit, the after parties. Meanwhile, on the field, couldn't catch me near the ball. I am where the ball is not. I was stressed if it came near me. I just could not care less, honestly, about who wins or loses. I'm there for the team spirit. And then I was like, maybe I'll do travel soccer. And my parents had to sit me down, and they were like, you will not be doing that. Like, that's not.
I remember Dad used to say that, like, because he would coach our soccer games, or like the little kids soccer. He would coach the t-ball. Yeah. He would coach like whatever, like little kid stuff. And he would say, you girls would just like watch the ball go by you. Like, nothing would motivate you to like actually participate and like running around. And that actually is how I feel to this day. I'm like, someone else will get that. Like, literally, I remember, and then they, like, when, I think it was, like, third grade, fourth grade, there was some, like, lacrosse camp. They wanted us so bad to try all the sports to see if
our parents did try. Stuck. And by the way, like, I completely endorse. I think I was good at other things. I did gymnastics, I did dance. Like, I had other things where my time was more valuable. I had given it my best effort with soccer, and it was, like, only going to go downhill from there. But they wanted so badly for us to find our sport that they were like, the team vibe, it just seems so great. Like, try all the different ones. See which one. I did field hockey for a brief stint. I tried everything. none of it stuck.
No, yeah. And so the only way they could get me to do this 1 week long lacrosse, because I was like, over my dead body am I going to do a field sport? And they just wanted us to try to be active so bad. So, and they told me, I think mom and dad were like, it says there's a pizza party at the end of the week. And I was like, I will do it for the pizza party. I will do it. And so however I could get out of doing things, I would. Like, we're there and they're like, okay, like, we need a volunteer. I'm like, They're like, who wants to be goalie? Like, I always liked being goalie or whatever, so I don't have to run around, but I wouldn't actually, like, go try to block anything. Like, I don't even remember things. I would, like, just do drills all day because I didn't want to, like, play with other people.
Yeah.
And they'd be, like, really trying to encourage me, thinking I'm, like, sad all by myself. I'm like, no, I'm having, please. Guess what there was not at the end of the week? A pizza party.
I remember
Tears.
This.
It was, like the...
What? I did this whole week-long camp. Like, you were so upset.
There's supposed to be a pizza party. There's no pizza party. Instead, they wanted to, like, play one game at the end where actually we, like, played a game. And I was like, I literally stood on the side. I was like,
that's actually the opposite of a pizza party.
That's actually the opposite. I would like pizza, and I would like a soda. Two things I'm usually not allowed to have. What gives? And I remember being like, didn't you have to pay for this, mom and dad? Like, where's that money going? Like, not to pizza? And they truly were like, I'm sorry, the email did say pizza party. So they actually did feel bad. They were like, I don't know what to say. I don't know why they didn't do the pizza party, but ruined everything for me. So yeah, from day one, have always just been more comfortable laying down, sitting down, lounging. But it is important for your health to be active.
They were right. They were right.
I hate it. It's so unfortunate. I've tried it all. Swimming, running, home workouts, classes, yoga, Pilates. I hate it all. I hate it all.
Yeah.
The only thing I like is swimming in the ocean.
You gotta live by the beach. Do you think you would like swimming in a lake?
No. Dirty.
The ocean's not so clean.
Ocean cleans you with its spiritual pureness.
I feel like there is like this just... It's like, I can't explain it, but the sea heals you. Like, I am healed by the sea. Like, it's not backed up. Do not take this as medical advice because it certainly is not. It's not backed up in science, but it is backed up in my heart.
I would actually give that advice to anyone who's suffering. Go to the beach. You're suffering, but at the beach.
No, it really is. It's a tough thing about becoming an adult and some of these things because I feel like our parents were very big on exercising being important, and it's like one of those things, like I feel like just whatever your parents like thing is, a lot of times when you're growing up you're like, you kind of rebel against it, like you're like, whatever, like so many people don't do that and they end up fine, and then when you grow up and you realize, you're like, shoot,
I have high cholesterol,
darn it, that was actually in fact very correct. Ugh.
Anyway, I think that's a good place to end.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. I actually feel like this was a fun episode with my story time.
I feel like a moral of the story is, if you like are good at soccer and you can just be like on your local soccer league, like that is a form of privilege. And
yes. If you're like exercise,
if you're good at soccer, like, are you at the top of the totem pole? Like, maybe. Like, I just know
it goes
that,
like having enough food and water, having shelter, healthcare,
being good at
family,
soccer.
Being good at soccer,
or like
it's all the way at the top.
Ultimate frisbee, like something that like adults play together, like in a local league. Like, you are one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, you are. Take that to heart. Okay, thanks so much for watching. And we'll catch you. I know. I'm like, you better be watching our lovely faces. Actually, don't, because my hair's kind of a mess today. So listen. But yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Yes, give us, if you are listening to us or watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube, give us a rating. If you feel so inclined, give us a nice little 5-star.
Here's what I'm going to say. Comment something bad. Comment something good. Just comment.
Anything. We are here for the...
Comment on the weather. Comment on the state of the union. Just comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give us, a follow on any of those platforms. Instagram.
Please. We're begging you.
Share with your friends. Like, if your friends are navigating their 20s, 30s, like, just give us a little share.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.